Avery got him. Let's go. All right. Straight up, boys. Nothing this team has done this season tells me they're going to do well, but huge but coming. They're going to do well. And you may ask why. Because Commandment is probably historically the most slept on player of all time. Avery is a dog. And they're just really good at this video game. And regardless of how they play in the Elite Cups or any tournament, I think when it comes to playing at the highest level, this team is that good. And it really don't matter. That's just straight up. It don't matter how good they have been appearing to be, how good they were, like all that nonsense. Call it what you want. None of that matters to me because these guys are going to play really freaking well. Now, looking at the latest drop map, looks like they're going to have the middle part piece. I don't exactly know exactly how they're going to split this. They're going to have some part of Rave Cave. It looks like Zago and Meram are going to land nearby. That may or may not be exactly where they land. Sometimes this could be a 50-50. Sometimes this could be a fight, just like we're seeing it now. So, I mean, watch this. I don't necessarily want to say, like, this is going to be good or bad off spawn. I think these guys clearly understand how to drop, and by no means are they going to just be tossed off spawn. And again, doesn't, like, for me, it literally doesn't matter what these two do. They are going to do well at the Invitational. And I think well is relative. It could be 15th. It could be... I wouldn't be surprised to see them in 5th. Now, winning it, I don't know. I think they have a chance. Is it the strongest chance? Again, I don't know. I would like to see these teams do well. Both of them are kind of just like quiet, put my head down, work, be good at the video game kind of players. That's what I like to see a lot of times. Not all the time. You know, sometimes I enjoy my smack talk and getting to see the players go back and forth on socials. But enough of that nonsense. Let's talk about the VODs. You know, you gotta share what was going on. What are we doing? So Rave Cave should be, because if we're looking at it, we're gonna have Commandment Avery land like this part, and then Zago Meram land over here, and then Thomas Tripper land down here. So they're fighting again. We'll watch this. And I think Commandment Avery have a clear, demonstrative understanding of how to play this drop spot, because we saw what Commandment just did. Go take the high ground, make those teams understand this is your drop spot, and you have to go away. So it'll be interesting, although... what's the best way to say this? I think they'll be good enough with their loot. Although I don't think they're going to have the strongest loot in the game. So they're going to have plenty of opportunity to rotate and move around. They'll have plenty of opportunity to take fights if they want to, right? So overall, they'll have possibilities. If Storm Surge isn't working for them, look to fight one of the teams landing at Rave Cave or nearby, or look for them to switch this up. This is a team that 1000% understands how Storm Surge works. I mean, you just have to look at who they've played with, and how good they've done in the past. I mean, Booga, Scented, Edgy. We could talk about all of some of the top players in the region, and for some reason, these guys don't get that same respect, although I think they deserve to be in that same conversation with them. So, yeah, just throwing that one out there. We'll speed her up. Oh, they're trolling. We get to watch a troll game, boys. But, like, this was a tough choice because it was either a game where they got no elims or this game. But I think this game they played really well. And this thing is honestly a real pain in the butt because he can sit in this bush and no one knows where he's at. But it is kind of a dangerous thing to use this as a follow-up weapon. But I honestly don't think it's that bad now that snipers aren't in the game. Definitely think this got a buff, although, again, at this quality of lobby, I'm not sure this is worthwhile. But who knows? Looks like Commandment's hitting his shots. And it doesn't look like it has a lot of damage drop-off, which is surprising. So here is their Storm Surge plan. Chill in the center zone, pretty much dead center. They move almost immediately. Once again, look to get even further center. Base up in wood. Pause for a second. Let that team look at something else. And then build in brick. Okay, actually, the more I'm watching Commandment use this thing, the more I'm thinking this might be worthwhile. Like, he's hitting a lot of shots. Dude, Peterbot and Jumper, what are you doing to these guys? That's just rude. we listened to Peterbot and Jumper spray for like a good 1 straight minute. Just put 300 ammo into that team. But anyway, we see they're chilling. Center zone. They're going to get 4th here. It's a really good position in zone. Everyone's going to have to come this way. Look at the lobby, by the way. So when I talk about like difference in lobbies, NA East, for some reason, has big congested areas. And then EU's fairly similar. And I think this all has to do with Storm Surge and the way people hold teams. Then we have regions like Middle East where they're, you know, multiple clusters. Although this is a bad example because I think we typically see more. And then Asia is very well spread. Brazil's pretty well spread as well. So it's just interesting to see. I always like to see that 4th zone difference because it changes a lot. Oh, I gotta pay bills today. Hey, if you guys want to shoot me some monies, I need it. Gotta pay the bills. Just a poor boy watching some VODs. Nah, but actually, if you hit that subscribe button, like the video, shoot me a comment. Appreciate all that. That helps a ton. Dude, Commandment is frying with this thing. And I also like that it splits ammo. I haven't really seen many people hold pistols in this meta. So splitting the ammo is going to be huge. Where one uses small, one uses medium. That's another advantage to using the pistol that I actually didn't think about and a lot of players used to do. But I don't think anyone really finds better than a gray or green pistol, and I don't think it's worth it anymore. Now we're just looking at the rotates. What do we think we do? I'll let you guys guess before we hit the rotate here. Still guessing. Definitely don't know the exact answer. Just going to hit a low pad. Boom, boom, boom. In, chilling. Jeez. Avery, that's rude, dog. Oh, Jamper and Peterbot. You're in the wrong box, bruv. Welcome to the Thunderdome. We appreciate your entry fee. Peterbot on the back foot just running away, and eventually they give that up. Really nice edit from Avery to immediately see them being aggro and like, yo, bro, chill. That's not happening to us. That may happen to some players in this lobby, but that ain't happening to us. So GTFO. And they paid for it. I mean, there was no shot back for the most part. No significant damage dealt back. That's also a flash of one of the reasons why I think this team is so good. Instinctually, they're just such a good duo. very cerebral in how they play the game, understanding, and then just clean. Neither of these guys are like crazy mechanically, and I say crazy in quotes because they have really good mechanics, but they're not flashy mechanically, I think is probably the better way to say it. And these guys just got a nice SMG refresh. Commandment. So I'd like to see them use the box they already built instead of spending, what would that be, 7 extra materials just to place a pad. Looks like they are going to look to double dip that. I like that. That's smart. They have whites. It's not a big deal. And this is also a team that's going to play any layer. They're not necessarily like, we need to play this layer. You'll see them at high ground. You'll see them play mid ground. You'll see them on low. They're just a team that knows how to play the game. So they're going to land mid moving zone, mid ground, base in a box to give themselves the ability to place another pad. Oh, watch your head. So that just scuffed them. So they just got totally scuffed. Let's see how they make it out of this. They do get a somewhat favorable zone here. Good little tarps from Avery. Another thing I like is both of these players can literally do either any. Whatever is needed. Commandment at one point I think was one of the best tarpers in the game. I don't know that I could say that anymore, but you don't lose that whole ideology. And Avery's always been one of the better gadget players that could do whatever. So I know that he could do it. This guy's going into the Thunderdome. No? Surprised they didn't get aggro on that one. Trying to save some mats there on the rotate. Isn't terrible because you have the heals. You know, it's one of those, you gotta use what you have here. Commandment takes some shots before he heals up. And this is the giving up of the damage to now get your heals back. Avery puts them in zone. They still have 100 mats. So they have a lot of mats for what has seemed like they've spent a lot. But one of the benefits of these two players is every single build is exactly where it needs to be. Pretty sure Commandment at one point, I was told he's a click builder. So like individually clicking builds. I believe that comes back from like Stretch and Bizzle days. Like those were two guys that pressed individual. Each click was an individual build. No turbo building during these moments. Now they're playing low ground. And I always like to see this team on low. I think they're a very good team that can like rat down here and then force people to make misplays and then just like capture a lobby. But you see all those builds? Avery just got, oh no. One of those guys just got one. Avery's going to look to grab it though. You notice how he delayed 1 second to allow Commandment to get here so that they could both hit that shot? Secure the refresh. Commandment gets them ahead. That's beautiful teamwork. One player getting the refresh, the other one making sure they still have priority position in zone. Forcing that guy into your builds. Love to see that. Zone pulls back, so this is pretty much the end of their low ground. No, it's not, because they're gonna go down here in a second. Oh, they just got blessed with bats. Whew. And they're gonna try and play low ground here. Now getting pushed off, but they reclaim. Get back front side. I like using those chromes immediately. We're starting to see that more and more often. The chromes as a defensive. Hardening those builds. Boom. See, right there, throwing a chrome, building the box, throwing a chrome. Maybe that guy gets the edit off first, but could have been a nice play. Then Commandment, just going to have to play the Med Mist when you got one build. Just trying to maximize this game. This is something he does very well, is understand how to maximize the game. That probably wasn't done very well, but you know, it is what it is. Again, I don't really care what this team does or shows me on film. Just whatever I've seen in the past tells me these two can show up, play the game at a high level, regardless of where they are going into the tournament. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Peace.